Bortle here at YCS Indy. Whoa, my goodness, please introduce yourself to the world.
Hi, I'm Jimmy, and I got top 16 at YCS Indy with Sunavalon Rikka.
Rikka, my goodness, what made you decide to play this deck?
Because I wanted to play Mikanko, but I couldn't find a certain card. So I got something that I had on hand. I was like, you know what? I played this deck for a long time. Why not?
There you go. Play with what you know. Any shout-outs before we begin?
Yes, I want to shout out my team, Team Revolution. That includes Victor Lee, Jack Lee, Daniel, Alexon, and Charles. And I also want to shout out my locals, which is Sunny Games. Sunny Hobbies. Don't even know my own locals name. As well as Game Nation and 401 Games.
Okay, without further ado, please show us the top 16 goo.
All right, so for hand traps, monster hand traps, I played 3 Ash Bloom and joins 3 Ash Blossom. This card is very good against the current meta. It does something against every single deck. I know there's a concern with talents and thrust, but if you keep your board clear, then you won't be talanced, and thrust can only set a trap. So it's okay. And this card is very good against Rescue Ace. It won me a game because of just ashing them. I played 3 Lokai and Twin. This package is very standard. You have to play this one. This is for the 4 bodies. I drew this a total of 4 times, but there are combos where you can summon it from hand and revive a body and basically get the same number of bodies at the end. I played 2 Lone Fire. So this card is a Small World Bridge. This card tutors everything in the deck, and this card is meant for consistency. Moving forward, I found myself setting this to 1 all the time, so maybe one would be enough, to be honest, because this deck is playing a little bit more than 40, and maybe it's not the best idea. For the Rikkas, 2 Petal. I never missed a third. 2 is enough, especially with 2 Lone Fire. You always see the Petal if you need it. 3 Princess. This is an extender. This is one of your best interactions for negates. Definitely a 3 of. 1 Primula. Sucks to draw, but it's an extender through Nib too. And you need it to search Princess as a part of your Glamour combo. 2 Mudan. I never missed the third. I had hands where I had Conka and Mudan. That's the God hand going second. Very good card. 1 Snowdrop. This helps you clear out the twin in your hand. This helps you summon the bricks. This gives you an extra body. Definitely necessary. 1 Gameciel. Like I said, I play Small World. This is one of the few Small World targets. And I'll talk about Small World because that was probably the one thing that I kind of regret and might have cost me the tournament. After I played 3 Lily Borea, this card is standard at the moment. It conflicts with something in my side deck, but it's still worth playing for game 1 because it is an extender. It is a pressure into Regulus with the spell. And it just does so much to play around Nib and Droll, which are your worst enemies. Other hand traps, who cares? We don't lose the Ash like Brandon. Okay, so 3 Unexpected Die. This is the best card. If you open this with any of these, you can protect yourself from Nib and Droll because what you do, you summon the twin. Sorry, not the twin. You summon the Lokai. You normal summon the Petal. You search this. It locks you out of Regulus. If they have evenly, well, sucks to suck, but usually it's worth it because Nib and Droll on your board is very devastating if you don't play around it, so it's worth it. That's how you play around Nib and Droll if you open this, and this. Very, very strong. So definitely a 3 of, no exceptions. 2 Con, never missed the third. Extremely good going second if they respect the deck. If you activate it, even if you don't have a Rikka in hand, they're going to use the interruption against it. Make your thrust, make your talents live. Very good card. Would I play the third one? Probably not, because if you draw 2, then if you bluff nothing, then well, you just pass, right? 2 Sowing. Some people cut it down to 1. I disagree with that. This is a pseudo extender. This gives you follow-up. You can activate another one if they negate the activation with something like High Wave King. It's good to have the second one. I drew the first one and still search stick one. Always worth it. It's good. 3 Glamour. This is one of the best cards to apply pressure with Con. This is something you want for the grind game. Keep 3. Sucks to draw 2, but that's how Yu-Gi-Oh is. 3 Droplet. This card is MVP. It cracks boards. Because your deck is a 1-card combo that goes +9. You don't really care if you send everything as long as you're like safe from their interruptions. 3 Small World. Moving forward, I would probably cut this down to 1. This card plays in the draw like no tomorrow. It goes -1. And back in the day when Cash was meta, you can't get drawed on this, right? Because you have to send draw to graveyard. Now there's no blowout target like Kurikara. this thing doesn't really warrant small worlding until there's a known target that's really good against Rescue Ace, which was the hot deck this format. I would probably cut this down to either not play anything or play something like Evenly Matched or potentially Impermanence. This card was very mid this tournament. Thrust, this card was absolutely broken because it's able to dig for 2 of the most impactful spells in the game. And even if you don't have a monster to set with, say you're going first, you have one of the most broken traps in this deck by default. And in the side deck, you'll see 2 more traps that won me many games. Okay. For the extra deck, I played Congo Token. I used Flex.
What was the main deck count?
Main deck count was 46. It's for those that watch a lot of deck profiles, it might sound familiar, but you know,
Okay.
a good deck is a good deck.
Oh, there you go.
But with my insights, I think you should make those changes because moving forward, those are probably the changes that I would make from field experience. Cut Small World by 2, even 3 to be honest. Cut Gamma Seal, and I would probably cut one Lone Fire because the whole point of Small World is Lone Fire is the bridge for every single card in your deck, right? Ash lets you bridge Lone Fire into any plant. So yeah, these will be the cuts, and maybe go down to 40 because actually let's do the side decks next.
All right.
Because I played this card. This is a little different from the previous list. They did play Crow because they were more scared of Unchained.
Yeah.
I was terrified of Tier Limit, not because the deck was strong, because that deck is a casino deck. They either open the nuts and they get 20 interruptions and you're like, well, GG. Or they open 2 Mali and a Soliak. And in testing, that's what I opened. I'm like, nope, I'm not playing this for a tournament. I don't want to scarf out randomly because I got unlucky.
Yeah.
This deck, as you know, is very consistent. It's very powerful. It just has trouble going second because it's really hard to play. And the interruptions, like you have Lokai and Die, and sometimes it's not enough. Like if they know the deck, that's your worst enemy. Fortunately, my top 16 opponent game 1, he didn't know the deck, so I beat him going second. But unfortunately, due to time rolls and technicality, I lost. But now I know, I'm gonna run back at Richmond and take it this time. For the other card, this is different. 3 Droll. This card is high impact against the combo decks. It's against Rikka, against Vanadium, even against Rescue Ace. In testing, I thought the card was not very good against Rescue Ace because they used the map during the draw phase. But I saw that a lot of people were playing Prosperity with the map, with like all their searches. So because of like that reliance on searching in the main phase, this card can really hurt them at the right time. And it did win me a couple games against Rescue Ace. 3 Book Eclipse. My friends all played Pearly, so they told me don't cut this. This is the auto win against Pearly. When I played Crystal LeBlanc, I drew 2. 1 was enough to end this game.
Oh man.
For the one-ups, this is Pank for Small World. The concession that I made for this tournament is that I don't play much back row removal. It came up one time against Lab, but then there was a card in the extra deck that kind of accounted for it if you didn't draw the 1 call by the grave, and you'll see it. Okay, so the next is Necro Valley. This goes in line with Cattycorn. This is a target for going first against specifically Tier Element. I was so scared of Tier Element. And to be honest, my deck was good to beat Tier Element, but I'm an idiot and I don't know the time rules. I'm going to be salty that for a while. Rose Whip, this is very good against obviously the back row decks, but even Rescue Ace, they have a lot of spells. If they don't open the right cards and you have a way to protect this, they lose half their hand essentially. For the thrust targets, 1 D-Berry, very good against Pearly, any branded Chimera decks, branded. And then Aoi, this is just talents at home. So what you do if they hand trap you, set this, you get full hand knowledge. If you know their deck, you just win off of that. Okay, lastly for the extra deck. The extra deck's very solid, but there's 1 spicy card. I don't know if that's innovation, probably it isn't. 3 Dryas. You have to play 3 because if the first one gets imperned by an unexperienced player against this deck, if you can make the second one, you need the third one to do the Jasmine Search. For healer, you play 2. You have to play 2. First for the twins, second for the sewing, second for the Jasmine. Used to be Thrasher. This is now SP Little Knight. It came up 1 time. This deck doesn't really make SP Little Knight much, but against Lab, I summoned this. And then I used the effect to banish, and then I chained Droplet, but he opened Call by the Grave. I was laughing, but it was funny. It was game 2 though, it was okay. For the Link 2s, 2 Jasmine, very standard. If this card gets banned, I'm sorry. 1 Dance Peony, it was good. Sometimes I mill 3 spells. It's mainly for the level modulation. Malias, which climbs into Bengal Lancer. 2 Strenna, didn't miss the 3rd. You have to play at least 2 though. Hyperion for the Strenna. This is a spell negate. Spell negates are kind of nice. And Teardrop, which is necessary as well. Okay.
Sweet. Well, hey man, congrats again on getting top 16 at this event with Sunavalon Rikka. My goodness. And yeah, any final thoughts?
I think that this is a deck that you should pick up if you like complicated decks that like get better as you practice more, as you know more of the lines, right? Not a lot of people know how to play against this. This deck is very intricate, has a lot of ways to make different end boards. It rewards skilled play, and those are the kind of decks that I love playing.
There you go, and again, congrats, man. And on that note, Bortle out.
Thank you.